Hello and welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna and welcome to the first day of Series 14, Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. Yay! This is a sketch by Ginger over at Ginger's Corner. And I'm going to share this thought process of why I picked the paper that I did. So I start off with bird cages because this is the tiki room at Disney World. And I thought, well, that makes sense. In case you don't know, the tiki room has the birds that are singing. I didn't like that. So then the next one I pull out has these wreaths because the birds are all they're sitting on these like hoops kind of thing. I didn't really care for that. I mean, it was okay. Any one of these I could have used and been happy, I guess. Here's one with a story kind of on the right-hand side with the birds. I didn't like that. I thought this one had like a leafy feeling. I really like this one, but then I found this one. So this has been in my stash for a very long time. It was given to me, and it's got this dinosaur on it that I know I'll never use, but I can't give the paper away. So I like the pink and the green and the red that goes in this paper. And I pulled out some Paper Studio florals. I'm going to trim these pictures down to 3.5 by 5.5 like the sketch calls for. However, in a minute I cut them all off on the side because I wasn't so sure about going widthwise. So lengthwise was okay, but I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing with the widthwise, or widthwise, the height. So I trim off and then I'm like, okay, 3.5 will work. And then if you can watch me go a little bit further, that was like 1 inch, and I went, ooh, that's a lot. Ooh, that's smaller than the other pictures. And I wasn't sure what to do. I could have cut them all down that small, but I didn't. But that was one of the options in my head. And here's where I go, okay, look, I've covered up the dinosaur. It's a good day. I bring out this is what I'm going to map my pictures with, and it matches. It does not match the green on the paper, but it certainly matches it in the florals. So I like this. And I also have a little problem with cutting down the mats, but we'll come to that too. So yep, I check out the first one. It looks great. I cut out the second one. Yep, that's working. Same size. And I know that this one's a little bit smaller, so my mat is going to be a little bit bigger. I did think about trimming down the mat as well. But when I go to do this mat, and this is late at night, I'm going to blame it on that. I could have been any day I would have done this. It was too lengthwise, it was short. Dun, 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 dun. And again, I'm measuring against other ones. Yep, definitely cut it too short. Well, guess what? I have plenty of other paper, so I'm going to go back. Mistakes happen, and that will go into my stash of scraps. And now I have the right size one. So for that picture I cut too small. I could have cut them all down smaller. I could have cut this mat so it wasn't so obvious, but I just left the mat the right size, put it in the middle, and kind of highlights the people picture, if that's what you ask me, and that's what I'm sticking with. So now that I've got that, I go into my stash and find this, and I love that because it's got the red and the green and the pink. It's got florals on it. So that's going to be my journaling spot. And then I'm glued down with my ATG adhesive the pictures to the mats, and then I'll get them on the page. This went pretty darn quickly, this layout. I can't lie. And I like me a good layout, especially when you're trying to do one every day for the 30 days of sketches. And I always do the middle one last because then you can like kind of eyeball it to get it kind of centered. And then I'm going to put this a little bit over closer to the, and I do consider using the back side because that green is just perfect too. If I would have wanted to rotate it, I would have used the green side for the journaling, but I liked it. I just loved all those colors. So using it that way. And then I'm going to take 3 of these florals and put them where she has the hearts in the sketch, and make sure your embellishments work for you. So I was a little bit premature on gluing this one down because I want to get those arrows in there. And I didn't mention, so in the pattern paper, well, here, make your embellishments work for you. So I'm just going to cut this off a little bit. I could have just cut it straight off on the side of the page, but I like the way this looks. And I did save that other piece of greenery to tuck in somewhere. I could have tucked it in on this page actually. Okay, so on this background paper, it actually has arrows. It's another part of the why this paper called to me. They're really light, so you can't really see them. So instead of doing arrows, I'm just going to do washi. So I cut off 3 about the same size on the bottom. I am going to make sure that the middle one is a little bit different size than the outside 2, but I do cut them about the same size. And this is a washi I've had for a while. I think it might have come from Amazon, and it's this sparkly. I love the color. It matches this pink exactly. I don't think it really so shows that on camera, but it has a backing on it, so you have to take the backing off, which is fine. So I'll get these 6 pieces of washi lined up, and then you can see that on the left-hand side there are my Ellie Studio, my favorite puffy stickers. And so I'm going to pull out 2 different colors of hearts, and that will be the end part like of the arrow. And I was thinking after I put these down, I could have turned the arrows. I've never thought of this before. Tell me if you've thought of this before. I could have turned the hearts and they would have been like the top of an arrow, right? But they're hearts because we were with our family at Disney World and we love that. So I did scooch them over so that they kind of look like a continuous part of the washi, if that makes sense. On that one I moved over because you could see a little bit off the white of the left side of the heart. Pardon my head. When I first started doing YouTube, I was so diligent and very careful with not getting my head in frame. And I think I'm more comfortable now and just go for it. And so then lately you've seen the top of my head a lot. So I apologize for that. I'm also getting older and my eyes are getting worse. So there's that too. All right, so these are, again, super easy page that went together really quickly once you get the pieces together. So Christy's Beautiful Life, in case you don't know, it is 30 days of sketches and they're all exclusive. So someone has made them just for Christy's Beautiful Life and it's someone else makes a sketch on each day. So I will have that linked below. Go check it out. There's a playlist. I'm going to warn you now. Once we get going, once we get into the month, there's going to be lots of cool videos to watch. So make sure to check that out. So there are my hearts down. I'm getting my florals down. I've got my journaling spot down. And I don't add much more to this layout. I didn't feel like it needed splatters or anything like that. So what do we got left? I do have a tab. I'm not going to use it. Oh, I find these, and these guys I got from Peachy Cheap, and I knew I was never going to use that bird anywhere, so I put it on the Tiki Room layout. When I talk about the Tiki Room, I think of my grandma. She had an album of like Disney stuff, but I don't know. We listened to the Tiki Room, so that was pretty cool. I thought about that gold, but the bow, but I didn't want to use that. So there's another floral I can stick on that I might not ever use. And I pulled off this gold title from that same sticker sheet. So lovely. All right, you guys, you have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for sticking with me through the end. And please come back and see me again soon.